بودكاست مياسين سيكون رفيقكم الأقرب، حيث يخاطب القلب والعقل معا، مقدما قصصا واقعية تعكس تجارب حقيقية وملهمة.
Welcome everyone. Every Tuesday join our Stars of Knowledge podcast. I'm Al-Balawi, a grade 5 student from the journalist class at Stars of Knowledge schools. In every episode, we invite someone special from our community to share his or her experiences and innovative ideas. This week, as we celebrate the exciting news that FIFA has announced Saudi Arabia as the host of the 2034 FIFA World Cup, we've dedicated this episode to discuss this milestone. The 2034 FIFA World Cup will be the 25th edition of the tournament organized by the International Federation of Football Associations, FIFA, and it will take place right here in Saudi Arabia. In this episode, we are honored to host someone who has made a significant mark in the sports field, my uncle Hammad Al-Balawi, the head of the 2034 World Cup file at the Saudi Football Federation. Stay tuned for an exciting discussion. Welcome, Mr. Hammad. Mashallah, your achievements have truly impressed us. Can you tell us about yourself?
Thank you, Shahana. Thank you for having me. I want to say Mabrook. Congratulations to us all for winning the right to host the biggest event in the world, which is the FIFA World Cup in 2034. I started in sports just 3 years ago. Before that, I used to work in tourism. And before I worked in tourism, I used to work in entertainment. But these three jobs that I had, always had the human, the person at the center of what I do. Because in entertainment, you're trying to entertain people. In tourism, you're trying to receive people. And in sports, the athlete or the coach or the fan are also people. So I've had the pleasure of working with people my entire life. And when I had the opportunity to work to bring the World Cup to my home country, this was the biggest honor of my life. Because I love to work in sports, I love to work with people, and I love the World Cup. So 3 years ago we started, and almost 2 weeks ago now, we won the right to host the World Cup, which was a massive achievement for me personally, but also it's a massive achievement for all of us.
Everyone around the world is watching what we're doing, and they're wondering, what are we doing? And what are these amazing things? Right now, we are happy and experiencing a wonderful time. Today, we have the chance to give young people an opportunity to channel their energy into hard work and effort for this project. How will Saudi Arabia deliver the best ever World Cup?
Excellent question. So Shihana, our country has been developing for many, many years. We developed over 100 years ago from having very little in our country, with tents and people moving from one tent to another tent, from one city to another city, with very basic things. We didn't have many resources. But then our country started to progress. We found oil under our ground. This oil meant that we can sell it to the world to create better energy. And in return, we got more money, more resources. And we took this money and we started to create cities across Saudi Arabia. في Riyadh, of Jeddah, في Dammam, across all cities. Today, we have done so much in so little time. What took other countries hundreds of years has taken us a very short time. And this, we can be very proud. However, in 2016, so 8 years ago, when you were 2, صح? Something very important happened in this country, okay? It's called Vision 2030. What happened in that moment was that the country announced, we are going to invest our money to make changes in every area. And I'll talk about my area in sports. In 2016, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, he came out and he said, we will make sure sports is a priority. And once he did that, he created an entity called the Ministry of Sports. And the Ministry of Sports had the job to make sure that there were more sports, more opportunities, more stadiums, more coaches, more athletes in every sport. In 2016, we had 30 sports or 30 federations. Today, do you know how many federations we have? Over 100 federations. In football, we had 1,000 coaches that coached football in Saudi. Today, we have over 6,000 coaches. And 1,000 of these coaches are women. And that's something that we are very proud. So, to answer your question, where are we today and where are we heading? We are still working to achieve our Vision 2030, which in our minds, in our wish, in our mentality, in our effort, makes us want to do the best we can in sports. And you're an athlete as well, and your cousin is an athlete, and you know the best thing you can do as an athlete is to do your best. We're not comparing ourselves with anyone. We're not trying to beat anyone. We're just trying to be the best we can be. So in sports, we are achieving so much. Most recently, we achieved winning the right to host the World Cup, but there is still so much to do. We need to improve opportunities for boys and girls to play football. We need to create better academies for them to develop their talent. We need to get them better stadiums for them to watch their favorite teams. We need to ensure that everyone's skill is developed to the highest level they can. We need to create opportunity for both boys and girls equally. And that's something that we are working very hard to achieve. So winning the right to host the World Cup is just one little piece. But what we are trying to do is to make sure we are creating opportunity in sports in every area for everyone. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Excellent.
How did we get the highest score in the hosting bid?
Excellent question. So when we started, FIFA sent us a long list of things that we need to send back to them. In this long list of things, there are small, tiny details. For example, they ask us to share with them all the stadiums that will host the matches. But inside these stadiums, they ask us, okay, where is the media going to sit? Where is the guest going to sit? Where are the fans going to sit? So we need to create all of the details around the stadium and give it back to FIFA. When we started, we wanted to give the best answer possible. It's like when you have an exam and you study for this exam. You want to make sure you understand the questions. And when you understand the questions, you are able to put your best answers. Alhamdulillah, we came together. It was a small team. We started with 8 people. Then we became 46 people. And we sat down in desks like this desk we're sitting on. And we sat down together, and there was great teamwork. You know how important teamwork is. We did great teamwork to understand and help each other. If someone needed help, someone came to help them. And we started to put all of the details that we need to send it back to FIFA, like the examination. And we knew we were going to do great things. لأنه alhamdulillah in Saudi Arabia now today, everyone has an opportunity to do great things. We sent them our bid, and we were very pleased when they gave us back our bidding evaluation, that we scored the highest ever in the history of the World Cup. And this is a massive achievement.
What are the opportunities for a 10-year-old girls today to participate in the World Cup?
There are so many opportunities. The World Cup is about so many people and so many jobs coming together to create the biggest event in the history. For example, the World Cup is about players that come and play in the match. It's also about organizers that stand in the stadiums and organize people and the different crowd into their seats. It's also about journalists what you are doing today with me, صح? But journalists that go and interview players, they interview coaches, they interview the fans to create stories and share these stories with the world. It's also about doctors and nurses that sit next to the stadium, la samah Allah, God forbid, if there is anything that needs their attention, that they can come and support. It's also fire brigade, kaman, la samah Allah, God forbid, if there is any incident, they are there to ensure that everybody's safe. It's also police officers. It's also traffic police. It's also so many other jobs. So the beautiful thing about the World Cup is that you can be so many things and still be part of the World Cup. Whether you want to be an engineer, whether you want to be an athlete, whether you want to be an organizer, a doctor, a nurse, a journalist, there is a huge opportunity for everyone to be part of the World Cup. But there is one job that we will all do. This is the job of hosting people. And us Saudis, we are very proud hosts. We love to receive people to our homes. We love to receive people to our country. And this is going to be our favorite job. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a nurse, a player, a teacher, a journalist, it doesn't matter. There's one job that we will all do, which is smile, invite people to our country, welcome them to our homes, and show them the true Saudi Arabia. And that's going to be so exciting.
The kingdom is growing and developing in all areas and fields. And now we will be hosting the World Cup. Over 160 federations have announced their full support for Saudi Arabia's bid. Could you tell us more about this topic?
Yeah. So when we said we wanted to host the World Cup, many countries around the world said we would love for a World Cup to be in Saudi Arabia. Over 160 countries around the world from the 210 countries. So almost 80% of all of the countries around the world, they said we want to see a World Cup in Saudi Arabia. And this is a huge thing because it means they trust us. They trust us to deliver the World Cup, which is a tournament not just for Saudi Arabia, it's a tournament for the entire world. So everybody has an equal right to be part of the World Cup. But they saw all of the different events that take place in Saudi, the tennis, the Formula One, the football, all of the other great events that take place. And they said in Saudi, they're going to do the best job. They have great people, they have great energy, they're very excited and they love football, and they're going to do an amazing job to host the World Cup. And that's why over 160 federations around the world all said that we trust Saudi Arabia to deliver the best ever World Cup. And you know something else that's unique, Shehana? And it doesn't exist in many countries around the world. 63% of our population, so 63% of all of the people that live inside Saudi Arabia are younger than 30 years of age. This means that they have energy. This means that they're very excited and want to be part of the World Cup. For all of this means that everyone's going to be excited, and I think this is going to be the best ever World Cup in the history.
Thank you, Mr. Hammad Al-Balawi. We really enjoyed having you today.
Thank you. The pleasure was mine, and thank you for having me. And I want you to leave this interview with excitement of how we're going to host so many people in 2034. But we shouldn't wait until 2034. Every time we see someone coming to Saudi, even today, we should welcome them and be excited to have them. But we should also remind them that they should come again in 2034, where the world will see the biggest and best ever tournament in the world.